Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
Happy Tuesday. And if I'm up, you're up. If you're up, I'm up. That is what insomnia is. Not really insomnia. My sleeping patterns are weird. I'm a vampire. I'm a night owl. I do most of my geekery during the evenings, even when I'm at the store, because I live in a blast furnace of a city. A lot of people, tourist-wise, don't like to come out when it's 100 and whatever. So those days are numbered. We're at August 19th today. And we are more than halfway through the second hottest month of the year, and then we'll be on the back end of these things. We got some 20% chance of rain next week, light rain, so that's about it, bro. So sorry, Lake Mead, those barrels will just have to come to the surface. But even with the rain-wise, like I said, first of all, my roof has been holding up lately in both areas, so I haven't had too much complaints. It hasn't done the damage that it did in 2023, 2024, so I have not have to curse at the sky, but so far, this summer of 25 has been uneventful on both ends, good or bad. It's just been uneventful. Nothing really spectacular. You know, the event that I thought was going to be the spectacular entertainment point of my summer's Comic-Con ended up being just okay. I didn't get a chance to go to the Star Trek convention this year because of business reasons. I mean, we had WrestleMania. I guess I can be honest with you, WrestleMania week right now has been like the highlight of my year. So, well, we still got time. We still got what, 3.5 more months left of 2025 to see if we can do any better. Also, Larry, if you're watching, we're going to go ahead and do your movies on Friday. We're going to get your Warfare and Civil War on Friday. Sorry, I wouldn't be able to do it Sunday because I was just too busy. But we'll do it on Saturday, like I said. But till then, we still have the one slot open. I'm thinking of doing Mystery Men, which is, like I said, an awful film. I don't care. You guys will never, ever change my mind on Mystery Men being an absolute bonfire of a movie. However, as part of the recovery process, fundraising, I will watch that movie. And I haven't set the limit yet, but there you go. I'm thinking at least 200 to watch that awful movie with Brad. How you doing, Duckman? Anthony, you've written an entire opera as far as the length of your questions. Thanks for rebuilding Ultimate Back Banter and talking about Trips to Darky. Yeah, Trips to Darkies. We're gonna actually go into because now I'm caught up. There's been 2 issues. I'm caught up. I got some opinions on that. I am going to cover that probably on Saturday. Now that I am caught up on both issues that have been released, it's different. I applaud them for the risk that they're taking here. I don't know if I can get used to Captain America calling anyone else sir, or send anybody being above him, even though I understand the story-wise purpose. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Ooh, what does it seem like? It'd be easier to reboot Star Trek completely compared to Star Wars. It wasn't easy. But J.J. Abrams had credibility to do it. And the problem between Star Wars and Star Trek is Star Trek is already diverse in different directions. You have Next Generation, you have Voyager, you have DS9, you have all these things. All they were really rebooting, and they weren't really rebooting. They created an alternate reality, is what they did. They did not Star Wars 2009 was not a reboot. There is the other prime universe still exists. The universe that's in most of these shows still exists. The only universe where that with the stuff that's going on when J.J. Abrams did is in that universe. So they didn't reboot the universe. They rebooted it. They created an alternate timeline so that they weren't beholden by all the history of Star Trek, which was really smart. And that helped jumpstart. So they really didn't reboot anything. And with Star Wars, if they tried to do the very same thing, I think it would be detrimental because all you're doing is staying in that safe zone. They're doing that now, just getting younger actors to play characters that, frankly, I'm tired of fucking seeing. I'm tired of Luke Skywalker. I'm tired of Leia. I'm tired of Sky. I don't want to be anywhere within 2,000 years of Star Wars at this point. Andor was great. I enjoyed it. That's over with. I don't want to. The next Star Wars project needs to be thousands of years in the future or thousands of years in the past, totally detached from the Skywalker saga. Wait, am I wrong? I believe Superman is sort of an indictment on humanity and their idolization of fight. Well, you could say that about any public figure, Anthony. I mean, you're not necessarily wrong, but you could apply that to any public figure that we could, whether it be a rock star, whether it be a politician, or any type of cult of personality could bring out the weakness of any human that wants to follow them. It's not just Superman. Superman is one of them in some occasions, but we have real life people that are there. William is a wrestling fan. Do you feel that dragging the NWO storyline as long as Eric Bischoff did almost dilute? No, it did dilute the brand. There's no almost. It did. You could have kept it going, but the problem is they didn't keep you. It's not the length. It's not the length of the NWO that killed the NWO. It's the quality of storytelling that killed the NWO, because you got something like the Bullet Club that, has been around longer than the NWO has. In fact, the Bullet Club has been around longer than WCW was as an entire federation. So you could, but if you write the right stories and refresh things and change angles of things, and you can keep something like that going for a long time. So it wasn't the fact that he drug it out. It was the fact that he had no story to tell as he drug it out. CBD, the flight is now ready to take off. You guys enjoy your flight. I'm pretty sure Clint's on that plane with you. Hello, it's my favorite kangaroo. How you doing? How you doing? I'm doing okay. How are you, Azteca? Yeah, but apparently she's not giving up the belt. I only watched a little bit of it. I watched like an Instagram video of what's his face, Adam Pearce, coming out saying, "Oh, we got to give up the belt." And she basically said, "I'm not handing you shit." So I guess she's gonna wrestle. I don't know what the whole deal is. But I figure they'll write it out of it somewhere if she's legit. She's 7 weeks pregnant, so. I'm dreading next summer too, Clint. But you know what? I'm trying to make it through this damn stream. I'm not even thinking about 2026. I mean, I'll think of it, because like I said, this 2026, I am going to make it a point. I'm going to every con I will not miss Star Trek convention next year. I will be there. I'll be at Comic Con, even though I didn't have a great time this year around. You know what, I will. I'm going to come in with a better game plan to have some fun next week. I am definitely going to WonderCon. That I'm guaranteed. Part of my rejection as a press outlet for Comic Con was those same people approving me for WonderCon. And you know what? I couldn't go to WonderCon this year once we got approved because I just didn't have the turnaround time. But I'm going to WonderCon this year. And one of the things I am going to do in 2026 is I'm going to actually take the center to these shows. I'm going to actually get some boosts, not at Comic Con, but some of the local stuff that happens here in Vegas, just to network. So I'm dreading the heat of next summer. But guess what? I've made it through 30 of these, so I'm not too bad. I dread, like I said, when we have abnormal rain that does damage to my business and property. That's the kind of shit I'm dreading. But so far so good. Oof. The thought of a watch along with Rigid, I can't even form my mouth into words now. That's like somebody handing me something with pineapple on it right now. I couldn't even get through the trailer of Widget, but you know what? Like I said, if you guys want it, there's a link. I don't want to show the trailer because I've gotten too many hits this week. It looks good. A horror movie told from a dog's point of view. That's new. That's cool. I hope people go see it, by the way, because everybody's saying, "Oh, it's something new. Nobody's franchises. Nobody has any ideas." And then when new shit comes out, people don't go see it. So this sounds like something unique, something different. I'm definitely going to go see it. I hope we promote it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Oh, Jesus. Okay, how do we get to Wicked? I was offering up Mystery Man, and you guys went to Wicked, which is all right. I'm not gonna put Wicked in the vomit worthy category of Mystery Men, because Mystery Men is fucking awful, but it's definitely no, I didn't. Hold on, let me see. Did you? Okay, hold on. I'm messaging somebody. See, did you? Oops. I'm having all kinds of problems. Did you already do it? Oh wow, that hurt. Oh, too many windows. Get out of that one. Close up that one. ATS. I don't know how you do this, dude. I'll watch ACS show, and he's got like 4,000 windows up, and I'm like, dude, I'm so. Hold on. Okay, it's not showing. All right, man. Comments, bang. Yeah, if anybody wants to donate no, Larry's pick was Warfare and Civil War, which we'll be doing on Friday. My bait for you guys is Mystery Men because, like I said, it's an awful movie, and if but I will suffer for you. Like I said, I'm still recovering from some of the dumb shit I did at Comic Con. So let's see, maybe it didn't go through. Okay, let's see. Oh, hold on. Let me go on my other stream and see what's going on. 'Cause somebody said they left a super chat and it's not showing up on the thing. So I'm gonna mute myself here so that it's not showing up. I'm gonna mute myself here so that it's not showing up. Oh, it's showing up now. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself here so that. Okay. All right, I see it, Clint. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I never set a price for Wicked Watch Along. You guys just named your own price for Wicked Watch Along. The hell, man! It's not showing up on my StreamYard, that's nothing new. How you doing, Daniel Martin? Hey, you're live. What up? Yeah, this is literally called an Insomnia stream. That's literally why we're here, Film Psychic. You read my mind. You are a true psychic. Neither can I. Yeah, I saw the shadow of the poster. Is that's all settled now? I haven't been paying attention to. I don't really care for much of the Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat movies. So. William, do you watch Jim Cornette? What are your thoughts of the departure of him and his co-host? I watch it every now and then. I don't know what's going on with him and his with his stuff. I mean, every now and then I'll take a peek. He'll say him or Bishop will say something crazy, and I'll just like, oh, okay, that's them. I don't know what happened to WizardCon. I've never been to that one. Yeah, Jason Momoa's Blanca. That's gonna be some CGI shit right there. Upcoming Street Fighter movie is looking like it's going to be 1994 Street Fighter all over again. They started casting good with Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li, and now I just went off the rails. Yeah, I don't know if we can. I give up. I give up. I give up. William, I watched Dune and the differences in story compared to Blade Runner 25. Completely different. I mean, I see a similar tone there because that's all he did. He adds a little bit of the things that are commonalities through his films, but the sense of just oppressed and dread they both have oppression and dread. They're just put differently. Dune is a war movie. I consider Dune to be a war epic, to where I don't know what you call it. I mean, Blade Runner 2049 is so much more relatable than Dune. Because Blade Runner 2049, even though it's told from the point of, okay, it's us. There are things that are being asked in Dune that are so fantastical, you were never going to be able to relate to any of that. Even if you've been in a war, it's so fantastical. There are things that are going on in Blade Runner 2049 that should be relatable. And I always say Blade Runner 2049 is a human story with a science fiction backdrop. Blade Runner 2049 is asking all the same questions, that just normal people deal with every day. And Blade Runner 2049 deals with the same things that a lot of us are dealing with. A lot of people are dealing with loneliness. A lot of people are dealing with whether the work and what they do all day defines them. A lot of people are looking for the meaning of life. I mean, a lot of these things, and Officer K is our avatar. He's us. He's the extension to us sitting in that audience. He's living out and asking all these questions that we ask ourselves every day. And then they put it on the backdrop of Blade Runner. Whereas Dune is great on its own right, but it's not that connection. Dune is an epic, awe-inspiring war movie. And that's the way Denny puts that one out there. So I see the similarities because I look for them in Denny's movies, but I think there's a divergence there to where at certain points they are their own separate movies. Want to be a shot caller? They say, oh, geez. Let's see. Yeah, I saw that super chat, man. That wait a minute, we got to negotiate. You guys just can't throw one out there and say, "Hey, we're gonna watch that." Granted, like I said, and he sent it to the super chat, which means I'll get it in like 2029. That's the way. That's the way Facebook, not Facebook. Oh my god. So whenever you guys send a super chat, we won't see it until a month later. That's what sucks about. That's why when we did the Comic-Con thing, I did it via PayPal because we got it and we were able to apply it to what we were doing for our Comic-Con, because you don't pay. YouTube disperses it to the 22nd or 21st of every month. So this one I get today, I won't see until September 22nd. But it's still there, so we got to negotiate. I mean, dude, there's definitely room for improvement with Alien Earth. I don't know if I'm 5 out of 10 though. I'm at a solid 7.5, possibly an 8. There are some things in there, but like I've only had 2 episodes. So this 3rd episode is going to be really important for me, and it's going to be nasty because that fucking eye thing is in there. But yeah, I'm a little bit higher than you on it, but yeah, there's definitely room for growth on the show, so I can see you there. I'm excited for Lanterns, but not sure to expect. That's actually a good feeling, to be honest with you. Because I think what's ruined some of this pop culture talk is the fact that we know what's coming to the point where we're already steeled against it. We already have our walls up. Every now and then, I just want to be surprised. So yeah, I feel the same thing. I feel the same way. But I, given the fact that I look at who's working on this show and the work that they've done in this genre, I feel really good about Grantland. It's my most anticipated DCU project. Superman did well enough to keep the boat going down the river. All right, let's look at what we're doing here. Yeah, guys, if you just want to like support the channel, you can use the super chat. But if you want to do things for the movie, because after, like I said, after we get Larry's movies done, I'm going to shut this link down. So this one's because when PayPal, it gets directly to me. All right, so. William, how would you fix the major plot holes that you didn't like from the Cloverfield franchise? Make better movies. Or in this case, make the next movie that movie. If you know, Cloverfield Paradox was all right, but it wasn't necessarily a Cloverfield movie. Not Cloverfield Paradox, Cloverfield 10, Cloverfield Lane. That Cloverfield Paradox. Next movie I make, we just forget that one was ever made because that movie was stupid. Dune was more like a young boy who's always told to stay back and knows he has to. Yeah, it's Paul's journey is these movies. So you can kind of liken it like the Cage journey, but they're on 2 different types of journey. But Paul's ascension, like I said, that speech he gives in that hall, after he kills that speech should have got him a nod. He should have been Timothy Chalamet should have been nominated twice that year for the Oscars. They should have deleted the whole intro with the crew that rips off the first Alien movie film. Nah, see, it's part of the Alien lore. I mean, mythology can't rip off mythology. They're all in the same house, and I actually like that because that gave me the feel. They're taking you back into a timeline, a part of the timeline where that look and feel is relevant. So I didn't mind that. Started with the girl getting anybody, crash the ship. The whole intro was just that. Well, they were basically fodder with like in any Alien films. You know, those people don't mean anything, but you see them get ripped up. They were supposed to give you the vibe of intensity about right off the bat where we're at with these monsters and this whole thing, and with the android. So I thought it was all right. I didn't think it drug on. It took up so much time to where, it was like, oh fuck, where can we get to the? No, I didn't think so, at least. Yeah, like I said, I can see how, if you're not into that pace of storytelling, though, I be honest with you, no matter how much I like it and how good I think it is, there are certain things that are intrinsic in certain entertainment that if it's not for you, you're not going to enjoy it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that's not your thing. It's not your appetite. Just like Nolan for me. Just people love Nolan, but the way he tells his stories, and in most cases, all but two, turns me off. It's not like I hate him when he's a bad director. No, he's an excellent director, but he is not speaking my language when it comes to how I like to be entertained. So if Alien is not your pace of entertainment, then you're not gonna like it. That's okay. It's nothing. It's art. It's put out there. Let's see. Second episode was okay. Well, we got Peacemaker coming on. Well, that was some bullshit. I can't figure out whether it was StreamYard or Cox. Anyway, um, yeah, today is the 19th, and 19 is a big number, a significant number if you're a Stephen King fan. So today, something that wasn't on my radar um, back before Comic Con, The Long Walk by Stephen King is a movie that I just heard about and dismissed until I went to Comic Con and sat at that panel. And Mark Hamill comes out as the Major, and I got to see the first 22 minutes of that film, and I was sold on it. I don't know if the rest of the movie is gonna suck or not, but today, August 19th, we are starting our campaign to for The Long Walk. If you've read Stephen King, if you are a Stephen King fan on that deep level, you'll understand that the number 19 is a significant number. That's why we're launching this campaign. So for those of you who are local in Nevada, that will be around on September 3rd, I think is when our screening is. I am going to be giving away passes to that. So I'm looking forward to that. That's on my radar. Peacemaker, like I said before, is on my radar. The rest of Star Trek Strange New Worlds is on my radar. So right around then, but nothing that jumps out at me. Most of the stuff that jumps out at me for like next year, like Lanterns. All right, so let's see if this fixed. Okay, yeah, froze for about a good couple of minutes. We're back on the air. There we go. All right, just wanted to check on the other stream, make sure I was back up. Yeah, this show is like I said, it's just nasty, and like I didn't see the cat scene. The cat scene was from episode 2. I didn't see that one because they only showed us one episode. When that cat's head, ugh. Oh no, that assessment. I used to get hit with that assessment when I was a kid. Obviously back in the 80s, we didn't have, it wasn't cool. There was no such thing as cosplay. If you dressed up like a superhero, you got your ass beat. It wasn't cool to be us. Now it is. Now it's kind of cool, and that's why things like Stranger Things, I can relate to Stranger Things because those kids were me during roughly the same time that that we were at in school. So. But it's Erin. She takes the bullshit about Australia deserves to watch along. I'm gonna go with Mark Henry. Well, shit, you could go Battle of Kandahar, Fallujah. Yeah, those two come to mind right away. I'm willing when it comes to Alien. I'm just really willing to let it roll out. I don't need them to be their own thing personally because for me, I don't come into the Alien franchise for one-offs anymore. I was done with one-offs with Alien. Once you establish a franchise, I want that mythology to grow. I am that kind of customer. Some people want individual, and that's fine. You can do some. There's a lot of individuality that you can have in these things, and it can still be heavily connected. But if you start disconnecting aliens from the mythology, you disconnect me from watching it. But people are different. Hello, Bell. What's going on? I was all ready for your thing the other day. Have you met Bell? I went all around the store and turned down the volume so that if you dropped any of your F bombs or some crazy shit like you and last time you and Ray got together, I was ready, man, and I was so disappointed when it got moved. Very disappointed. And like moved to like a monster or some shit. I'm going, damn it. Nah, Cox. I guess it's Cox because I can't. I went on to my mobile hotspot, but I guess I don't know if it was Cox or not. Sometimes Cox and StreamYard buck up at the same time, and boy, is that fun. Yeah, I'm having fun with it. I don't know if they're well. I mean, from my opinion, at least, it's not hit a wall. It's exploring the walls that were already there in more depth and detail. Yeah, listen, I'm going to give I'm curious about this year, this coming up. We're going to be doing watch parties so we got 2 watch parties this week at least. As far as these new shows goes, we got Alien, Earth, and then we got Peacemaker at the very least. It's why the refreshing Prometheus and planned trilogy for that story. Alien is cool, but I want other things too. That are in the same universe. I'm sorry, I said RE. I meant all right. Yeah, that's what I'm there for. And Prometheus is still, 13 years later, is still the most financially successful Alien movie. Ooh, long sleeve. 19, yeah, 19 is. Larry, I don't know if you were here. Like I said, I couldn't do yours on Sunday because it was the day didn't fold out that way. But I am doing them on Friday afternoon, so I will let you know. And like I said, for those of you out there that so Friday is the last day because once I'm done with Larry's, then we're going to go back to our normally scheduled geekdom. But I put the bait out there for Mystery Men. I think Mystery Men is worth the 200. I'm sorry, that movie's awful. I think that's the worst comic book movie ever made. If you want to embarrass yourself and call that a comic book movie, the only thing good to come out of that movie is the Rockstar song. That movie sucked. I just can't. I've been having to binge lately because I'm so behind. I'm behind on everything that I really usually jump on and watch. Because I'm trying to rest a little bit more, and then other things that are like in real life are happening and real time that I just haven't had the energy. But as soon as I'm done with the stream, I'm gonna catch up on Dexter. Yeah, this show's nasty, and like I said, I'm told it gets nastier, which is like, okay, an eyeball exploding out of a cat's head, that's not gross enough. But that particular thing that made me cringe is in this episode doing something again. This is nasty. Nasty. There we go. There we go, my avatar. I'm going to get these put on a shirt, by the way. Yeah, and there's another eye scene. If you have eye sensitivity, no, it wasn't weak at all. It was pretty fucking powerful. Yeah, 19. So like I said, if you are familiar with Stephen King, the number 19 comes up a lot. Maine comes up a lot. Highway 50. I mean, there's a lot of things that if you pay attention to Stephen King, there's a lot of things that connect. And then you have the entirety of the Dark Tower story, which the worst ending you could possibly have for that long. People invested decades in that. When that came out, I was about to be deployed when the 7th book came out. He started releasing these books in 1977. So when that book came out, I had read them all. Stephen King's one of the reasons why I don't read a lot of books anymore because his books are too long. I read The Stand. Stand's my favorite Stephen King novel. I read all the things that connect to it. You have the Gunslinger, and you have all the you have all the Dark Tower books 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But then you have other things like The Stand, Insomnia. You have other things where certain characters It is it's theorized that all these monsters that are in all these stories are all pieces of the Crimson King, and as they're being killed, he weakens, and I won't spoil the ending for those of you who want to follow the doctor. I hated the ending. Once again, here's a no surprise here. No matter how great the journey is, if you can't stick the landing, you lose me. And I really, really did not like the way the Dark Tower series ended. That's just me, though. But yeah, for those of you who are local in Nevada, who want to play along and want to play, number 19, we're gonna start that promotion today, and we're gonna keep it going all the way till the long walk screening. Like I said, a movie I had no intention of seeing until I was at Comic-Con, and Luke Skywalker himself walked out there and really got me into it. And then they showed us 22 minutes, and I was in. Quarto. Sounds like a He-Man wizard, Quarto. $2:17 in the morning? What the fuck are you doing at the movie theater at 2:17 in the morning? His picks for Civil War and Warfare. Same guy, Alex Jordan. I don't know if I want to see an interview with you, Forrest. I think the more I learn about you, the more I'll be like, you know what, fuck this guy. The more an interview with you would make me want to put you up on a ladder again and just go ahead and finish the job. Yeah, unless you have a different plan. That's my next open day where I can do something like that, a double up like that. Unless you have a different plan, let me know. I'll see if I can work it into my schedule. But that's the next full-on day I can do them both. William, what are your thoughts about Universal getting the full rights for Jason Bourne from the original author's estate? Can they reboot the movie without Dave? Yeah, but I don't think they should. We tried a Bourne movie without him, and it wasn't bad, but it didn't catch on. So no. Yes, and I don't think it's the worst thing ever created. Yeah, he sent 100 towards Wicked. He sent 100 toward Wicked, but he sent it to in the super chat. So if anybody else sends anything, send it through the PayPal link that's tied to the top of the chat. William, do you agree with people that are saying Superman is basically an Italian peacemaker, or what? What the hell? No, I don't even get this question, Anthony. No. I fear all the speculation will be for not with the pocket universe. Well, he said that there's 100 different realities. So if James Gunn himself had not said that, then I would be with you. But he says there's 100. Even if he does not explore them in Peacemaker Season 2, he's establishing that they are out there, which leaves your possibilities for doing DC endless. It leaves open the door, like I always said, for a creator-driven story that does not want to be part of a universe to come in and basically do something. It explains the Batman. It explains a lot of different things. It may explain things that we haven't even seen yet, and without jamming up his continuity. So if he hadn't put out what he's put out about it, I would be with you, Daniel. But he's put out enough to where I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a letdown for me. Or I don't think the speculation this time is going to be Ultraman. People got their own speculation. I never doubted that. Okay, wow. All right, Cox had an internet outage. I'm just getting an alert right now. That's why we went off the air for a little bit. But no, Ultraman, if you knew the character Ultraman, you had to know that was when you saw him using his powers in the trailer, those were Superman powers. I had no doubt in my mind. Now, we had a little bit of fun whether it be a Cavill Superman. I thought there was no chance of hell of that being the case. But even if you were watching this show, I told you it's Ultraman. It's an alternate version of Superman. And people were, and then we threw the whole Bizarro nonsense in there. But no, the speculation around Ultraman was hyped up by fans. The speculation about the 100 alternate universe was hyped up by James Gunn. So there's a little bit of a difference there. I think one is not going to be a let down. That's the only part of Bill Kill that I speed past, especially when she steps on her own eye. Oh god. I don't need a Storm or Cyclops or Jean Grey series leading up to that. No, I just say introduce them in the movies and go there. The DT ending rules. What's the DT? Oh, Dark Tower just blows, dude. You're trolling me right now? You're okay with that ending, Larry? You're okay with that ending? That ending sucked, man. That ending was not worthy of the epic journey that I went and read all them thick mofo. Back, they used to be on these shows back here, but I took them to the store and I sell them now. Dude, these books are huge. You could stop bullets with those books. I read them. And I waited for Dark Tower Part 7 in 2004. I got through that book. That ending sucked, man. I don't care if I'm the only person in the world that thinks so. The ending of Dark Tower sucked. I mean, dude, Stephen King, if you're watching, dude, you're still kicking. Write me a better ending. Just do a Dark Tower book 8. Just write me a better ending in that. Because there's some epic shit that goes on in the Dark Tower series. Not just, like I said, not just the 7 books either. There's a lot of there's a little map that I'm actually gonna post this because we're doing whenever I do a Stephen King movie, I like to really go crazy, and it's not ever just about the actual movie. Like when we promoted It and all that, we weren't just talking about it, we were talking about all, because Penny, a lot of these things either directly connect or were speculated to connect or just outright connected. And there's like a big map that connects. Like, Randall Flagg is, Mr. Sim. He's, the Man in Black. He's in a lot of different stories under different names, but it's him. So I got a little thing that connects all of that together, and it's beautiful. Like I said, the ending of Dark Tower didn't turn me off of the entire saga. I just didn't like. I just hated that ending. I thought that was a cop-out ending for me. But hey, people are different. And I won't tell you guys what the ending was because you may read all of these damn books or just the 7, and you may get to the ending and you'd be like, you know what, that ending makes sense to me. So I'm not gonna ramble on, but I hated that anyway. I think the Gunslinger series is still in development. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, Mike Flanagan. I think Mike Flanagan is doing the full-on Dark Tower. Hello, Joga. We now have 2 Aussies minimum, and we've met our Aussie requirement here. Yeah, because that movie sucked, man. That movie had every reason to be good. I mean, given who was in it, and it just was not good. It's time to stare at the walls for reasons. Have fun. I don't know how happy Joker is about The Last Ronin. I think it's the best Ninja Turtle story, but he accuses me of thinking that's the only Ninja. No, I mean it's just this has the potential to be the best movie too because this shit ain't for kids. Okie dokie. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for our last spot, which will be this Friday. Our last spot. I'll look into this Wicked thing, guys, since you just basically named your own price and give me a chance to negotiate. But Mystery Men is on the board as far as if we reach a certain amount. All right. Let's get out of this screen. Let's go over here. It's all right. So, yeah, when we were on the Poindexter Lounge, the Enosh would bring up Fisto, and he'd bring up the comic or the I think it was a scene. It was I fisted all I could, and I couldn't until I couldn't fist anymore, and we were just busting up laughing about Fisto. You dirty minds. Do you think we'll let someone else direct Superman and Supergirl movie? My pick is Matt Chapin. I think eventually he's going to have to because he's a studio head. I think I mean, not that I have a problem with him directing, but if he's a studio head, I don't want I don't want him to really run himself into the ground and lose his edge being a director and running the studio. I mean, you can shape the universe from the studio head. He doesn't have to be directly involved. I think he will get somebody else though. Well, I mean, you got to be dedicated to get to Dark Tower. I'm going to tell you, you got to be dedicated. You got to be willing, and like I said, I was doing it before I started on those books and I ended those books before the internet was super big. We had the internet in 2004, but I was deployed and I actually finished that book before we set up our internet over there. So I was old school. That was back when I enjoyed reading too. That was back when I could get through any book within a week, if not sooner. Stephen King books slowed me down though. It's just a certain way I had to digest Stephen King's books that I just had to slow it down and be like, okay, did he really? Because we couldn't go on YouTube and be like, well, what did Stephen King mean by this chapter? You know what I mean? You had to figure it out yourself, or you had to talk with other Stephen King fans. So, yes, I was, and I got some of those signed by Jay Lee. Jay Lee did the artwork. The covers of those are beautiful. They're beautiful. I have them all, and I have some of them signed, and I have the books. The Dark Tower comic books are beautiful. Yes, I am a fan. Yeah, I haven't gotten on that one yet. But I give me a better ending to Dark Tower, man. Ugh. Antonio Baker, why the hell would he let someone else direct something he's directed? It makes no sense, even if you don't like Superman. Yes, it does, Antonio. He's a studio head. He's got, as a studio head, that's a lot encompassing that. He's overseeing all of these things. When you're directing something, you're all in. But he's already got a job that he needs to be all in. I'm not saying he can't directing or that I wouldn't like him as directing. I'm saying as a studio head, you now have to delegate these things. You can put the vision out there and then set everybody else on that course. But you're not just, as a director, you're talking about one movie. As a studio head, you're talking about several movies, several TV shows, possibly video games, interaction with your comic book people, advertising, merchandising, as far as connecting with that, your liaison with Warner Brothers, picture. I mean, dude, that's a full-time job before you even get into directing. So it's more of a business structure thing of you're overseeing this entire universe. Are you going to have time and energy to be the director and the guy who appoints all these people? I just think it may not be the best idea. Yeah, well, I guess I was strung along through the Dark Tower thing. I really wasn't presented with an end because the story continued, but yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to I have kind of avoided Dark Tower on the channel so far. I don't know why. No real particular reason. We just haven't hit it yet, but we will. If you don't like to, see, that's not even what I'm saying, Antonio. It has nothing to do with. It's more of, okay, you're the manager. You have people to delegate the movie making chores to now. You oversee an entire universe that's hopefully going to grow. You can't. Directing is a full-time consumption. And he got away with it now because it's only Superman, Creature Commandos, and some other stuff. But as this universe grows, as these shows grow, he's got to get in the captain's chair and be voicing the command. He can't really be, I mean, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. And what you don't want is him having to do all these things, and then you don't want the product to suffer. Because when you spread yourself too thin, then that's when things start to go south. Okay. Oh, and now I got that damn Mystery Men song in my head now. Rockstar. It was playing on the overhead somewhere today too. Like I said, I truly hate that movie. But here you guys go. I will watch it for you. I will make sacrifices for my geeks. I know Brad loves that movie. I don't know why. Brad loves some pretty shitty movies, by the way. I don't care if he's watching. Brad gets excited for some really shitty movies and then disowns scary movie, which I don't understand. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm not the biggest scary movie fan. I hate those movies. But how can you hate those movies and think Mystery Man is anything more than fecal excrement? Sorry. I mean, I thought one of the best things about for me Superman was the cinematography. I felt like I was watching Top Gun, but everybody's different. Yes, there is. There is. Okay, we're gonna need. I can't. Yeah, we're gonna have to negotiate that one. You're gonna have to throw some more digits at me, guys. Wicked is gonna make my ears bleed, and Mystery Man is gonna make me throw up. You're literally causing me physical discomfort with these movies. So yeah, we gotta do a little bit more than $100. And if you guys want to see me projectile vomit on air, use the PayPal link that I just put in the. It should. Here you go. I think I just put it in the chat again, but the stream is delayed. So when I'm chatting with you guys, it's delayed. Something was going on. There you go. I think I'm gonna put it in there. Yeah, same here. I do a lot of audiobooks because a lot of when I'm at the store working on stuff, it's the best way to get through books now for me. Go to conventions. Go to animation conventions, and they are all there. In fact, they're at comic conventions. Whenever you have a convention, I don't know how many they have in Australia, but also when they all have YouTube channels, drop them super chats, drop them follow them on Twitter, drop them a DM. The worst they could do is not answer it. So that's my suggestion, Rogue. Yes, exactly. Stephen King could take 14 pages to describe a blank wall, and I'm not fucking with you. You could do that, and I'm like, can I flip through this, or I'm afraid to flip through it at speed because I'm like, I'm gonna miss something. Yeah, the covers that Jay Lee did on the Dark Tower were awesome. Okay, now you guys are speaking Greek. I don't know what the fuck all that is. Sorry. Who is Matt Shackman? Well, he did Fantastic Four, and if that's somebody from Fox, I'm good. No, he just Fantastic Four. He's going to do X-Men. So I don't think Matt Shackman's going to be the guy because he's busy. Not only did he just did Fantastic Four, but he's going to be doing X-Men. I'm pretty sure that's who's doing X-Men, right? Yeah, it's doing X-Men, so he's going to be busy. No, that's a different guy who did the Fantastic Four. It's still Christopher Nolan. He didn't even. Nah, but I don't think you need that level yet. I will be excited for Doomsday as I crawl through these movies, as I get through Spider-Man, as I get closer to Doomsday and we start getting things dropped to us. You know, I will eventually. I'm not all the way there yet, but I will be there. I don't think I'll have any problem. I'll probably get there sooner than I did with Infinity War. He's not doing everything. I have a problem with doing Superman stuff because it's not every director wants to do Superman. Nolan turned it down, but he'll find somebody though. Antonio, he can find somebody. He knows what he wants to do for Superman, and he will sit down with directors, and he will line up his vision with theirs, and they'll get the movie done. That's what a studio head does. Remember, he's no longer just a director, and it just takes time. This takes time, and he's going to be doing this over here, and he's got other things going on simultaneously. You can't bog yourself down with that. You can impart your vision on the director you hire, and that's fine. You know what? We've done Clue live action with Rocky Horror. Our Rocky Horror cast did Clue. Kind of cool. All right, how long have we been on the air? Let's see. I mean, not including getting shut down. We've been on the air for an hour, about an hour. I don't. Brad loves them. I wasn't a fan of WandaVision, to be honest with you. I was a fan of Fantastic Four. I was kind of skeptical when I heard that that's the guy who's doing Fantastic Four, because I wasn't a big fan of WandaVision. So yeah, that was also a different era, though. I mean, we were living in a different world when the Infinity War was being built up. Well, a lot of people love superhero movies. Some superhero movies are really good. Not all of them suck. And the Wiz I grew up with the Wiz. It wasn't necessarily do I like the Wiz. I grew up with it before I think what the Wiz was 77, 78, and it was on the TV. A lot of the stuff like that was on the TV. That's how I got into horror. That's how I got into science fiction. The old man was watching it. It was on the TV. And for black folks, a Black Wizard of Oz, that was cool. We watched it as a family. I liked it. I still like it. I still think the Wiz is fun. It was a very controversial take at the time too. So yeah, that's true. That's true. He was partaking in some chemicals at certain junctures of the Dark Tower. I have to admit that. So, and he's very open about his issues, but he's overcome them now. So I'm proud of him for that. Okie dokie. Yeah, is it the guy? You're right. It is a guy who's doing Thunderbolts. That's going to do X-Men. So my favorite MCU movie. Man, that's a tough one because Captain America: First Avenger is one of my favorite movies. Period. It's going to be a tie because I really liked Spider-Man: No Way Home, but Captain America First Avenger is probably going to edge it out right now. But you ask me next Thursday or something, it'll be different. Yeah, we did a lot of interactive stuff, Rocky Horror stuff, because we got bored of just doing Rocky Horror. We did Night of the Living Dead. We've done Clue. We even did The Breakfast Club, believe it or not. We've done Santa Claus and the Martians. We did, We've done a lot. We're going to do a lot more too now that my cast is back up and running. As far as what? As far as DCU, maybe the Wonder Woman Paradise Lost series. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. In general, Dune Part 3, the Blade Runner TV series is supposed to be getting released pretty soon. Yep, Michael Jackson and Diana Ross. Yeah. Yeah, but we can't do that for $100. You're gonna make me want to gouge. You're gonna make me want to stick pencils in my eardrums and blind myself while watching those two. It's got to be for a little bit more than that. Yeah, Endgame was a phenomenon, but it was also a culmination of 12 years. Or 11 years, because it started in 2008 and ended in 2019. Okay, my geeks. So once again, so Clint put up 100 for Wicked, but if you want to do, Wicked and Mystery Man, we're gonna have to do a little bit more because it's a lot of suffering. And then I got to deal with Brad probably because he won't miss that stream. He will not miss that stream, and he'll just make it more annoying. I mean, the movie is fucking garbage already, in my opinion. I know you all love it, but all film is subjective. Yeah, but I have to watch that movie and then deal with Brad making his bad jokes on top of it. Yeah, we're at 100 now. We'll probably need about another 100 to get that done. All right. All right, so we're going to stay on the air for about another 5 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. Sorry, checking the email. A couple of those. You should. I think I got it. I think I got our album of the week though. It's a System of a Down album we're going to be doing this week. I had a lot of fun and I got a lot of good feedback from what we did the other night with the song intros, even though YouTube did indeed take us down for those entries. So, but it was fun. Well, they took us down and they basically had me eliminate the sound from it. So the stream is though I didn't have to cut up the stream like I had to before, but there's no sound. But you guys were watching the show. If you're watching even at a different time, you can Google these things yourself. Not tonight. You have another hour before work. What coast are you? Are you on the? You got to be on the East Coast then, right? Because if you're about to go to work. No, I'm not. I am not. As a matter of fact, as soon as I get off of this stream, I'm going to watch. I'm going to get caught up on Strange New Worlds. Hello, Spot. How are you doing? I don't remember what you told me about Star Wars because that was Fox. That wasn't Disney. I only watched Revenge of the Sith, so I didn't watch the first two prequel. I was okay with the Phantom Menace. I liked Attack of the Clones. I wish they would have put the full movie together with the Jedi and Sith holocrons in there that they had used in the Legends or what was the extended universe at that time. But I love that. And then Revenge of the Sith is one of, it's up there with one of my favorite all time Star Wars movies. William, do you think you'll watch Odyssey at the theater or wait? Nolan piqued your interest with Oppenheimer. Well, he piqued my interest. He piqued my interest before that. He piqued my interest with Dunkirk. I will give Christopher Nolan's movies a chance, even though I know, given my past experience with him, there's a good likelihood that I will not. They won't be for me. Um, Odyssey is something he's never done before. He's stepping out of his box. So this might be one of those ones where I'm like, okay, let's see if that changes things for me. So I will go see it. We'll probably end up promoting it. East Coast. So yeah, so you're about you're working out really early shit. Yeah, a lot of people from different younger generations have a different feeling about the prequel series, and people who grew up and only had the first three episodes 4, 5, and 6. If you're a kid that was that wasn't around then, and you start watching, oh, you're taught in school do things in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're starting with episode 1, so you're gonna have a different feeling. So by the time you get to episode 4, you've already seen 3 movies, so you're gonna have a different feeling about all of this. And it's always interesting to see people who are younger how they feel about episode 1, 2, and 3, because there was in many cases were their first Star Wars movies. I did this late. Brad's on the East Coast. He went once the guy goes to sleep, it's really not getting him up. But he's 3 hours ahead of me, though. So in his defense, well, make sure you are financially set and you got either another job lined up or you're going to be comfortable. Don't be one of those guys who just quits on a job. Yeah, make sure you, like I said, make sure you got that parachute ready. Let's see. All right. Is the Next Generation my favorite Star Trek? My favorite is Voyager. As far as series goes, after that, yeah, it's gonna be Star Trek: The Next Generation. Once Strange New Worlds is done, it might be up there because I love Strange New Worlds. I mean, it kills me that I've not kept up on it, but I've been really busy. But I love Strange New World. I really like Discovery. I thought Discovery was messy, but it got to where it needed to go in order for us to have the kind of Star Trek we have now. But yeah, I would put Next Generation as number 2 behind Discovery or Voyager. I do not know the circumstances of it. I don't listen to it, but I do not know the circumstances of his podcast ending. So if he's ending because he's just tired, I guess, or I don't know. I don't know why. I've been outside the loop. So. All right, we got about 4 more minutes, and we're gonna put a bow on this insomnia. Like I said, Mystery Man, Wicked Double. Ooh, wow, that's just it's on the line. So yeah, if you guys want that, the Fridays, like I said, we whatever we pick, or if it gets picked, that's when it's going to happen on. It's going to happen this Friday, so we will stream all day to get all this out of our system. Yawn. Still gotta eat. All right, that's where we at here. I herald the beginning, I herald the chat's end, I herald going to sleep. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Let's see where we're at. Should put a poll up here. I know what the poll will end up being, so no, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I would like that Catwoman. I would like a Catwoman show with Zoe Kravitz and a couple guest appearances by Christine Milioti, or in it, together. I think they would make. I think they are both good actresses, and I think they would make a really good show. I would watch that show. That show would be fucking wild. I'd watch that show. Look at that thermos. I want a Catwoman series along with her. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. You read my mind, Antonio. Oh, I would think it would just do HBO Max numbers, which would be awesome, just like the Penguin did. I think. All right, guys, I'm about to wrap it up. Once again, here is the link. It's in the description if you want to do a double feature of Mystery Men or Wicked, or both, and we're gonna have to up it. We can't just do that for $100 because that's those movies are far awful than that. But thank you, Clint, for that super chat, getting us somewhat there, and that'll be it. I don't think yeah, okay, yeah, it would be overstuffed if it was in the Penguin, but in her own show, I think it would be awesome. All right, guys, that's it for the night. We're rolling up on 2:00 in the morning, so it's been fun. It's been a fun hour and a half, roughly hour and a half, just me and you. Having bad is great, don't get me wrong, but every now and then, like I said, it'd be good for each of us, him too, to connect with you guys solo wise too. So, all right, guys, we will see you tonight at 11:30. For those of you who want to wait and watch it with us, so some of you will watch it before. Alien Earth Episode 3, 11:30. Keep your eye on the alert button for everything, and then we will see you for that gross ass TV series tonight at 11:30. Goodbye.